My name is Manuel Lanz. I'm a systems engineer based in Bolzano, Bozen, Italy, working with NTS for around 5 years now, and mainly focusing the routing and switching area, supporting our large enterprise customers. Together with some other colleagues, I'm also supporting Meraki customers in our local area. Before coming to the Meraki updates, let's quickly recap what Meraki is about as a company. Meraki was funded from 2 MIT students back in 2006, and they selected the word Meraki, which comes from Greek and stands for doing something with love or doing something with passion. That's still the philosophy and the slogan behind the company. They often state that they are going to create technology that simply works, or implementing solutions rather than features. Doing this, Meraki focuses on a completely cloud-managed IT solution that integrates hardware, software, and cloud services. Speaking about cloud-managed IT, Meraki is also the leader in the whole business. It's always incredible to look at the increasing number of unique customers, devices connected, and dashboard visits that we can see every day on the cloud infrastructure. The cloud-managed way of administrating our network provides us some features we all love and know pretty well in the meantime. The main features are pre-configure our networks from our centralized cloud dashboard, which we can access from everywhere, providing us the possibility to configure the devices even before we order them, or at least until they are in shipment and on site. We just need somebody to power them up, connect them to our Ethernet, and they will be auto-configured. Based on this, we can scale the networks very quickly. We can react fast and flexible on business changes and implement within a couple of days. We can manage our networks from everywhere, and the simplified Meraki solution provides us also the possibility to provide large enterprise networks from a small centralized IT team. Last but not least, the powerful cloud dashboard does also provide visibility, end-to-end flow, and a centralized management over the entire product. Back in 2006, Meraki started as a wireless mesh solution. In the meantime, they dramatically increased their portfolio, covering everything from the MDM solution as a client installed on our machines, going over access points and access switches, connecting the clients back to our business networks, distribution and core switches of connecting our entire sites together, going up to SD-WAN appliances and firewalls for a secure WAN connectivity. Recently, Meraki introduced also a couple of MT sensors and smart cameras entering totally new businesses, which we will cover in detail later on. The whole portfolio is often also referred to the Meraki full stack solution, just simply meaning you can get everything you need from a single vendor, controlled via a single cloud dashboard. Let's have a deeper look into the Meraki wireless updates. Wireless is becoming more and more popular, especially in the IoT, in IoT scenarios. At the same time, though, we can also see heavy application users or heavy bandwidth users moving over to wireless and no longer connecting to Ethernet, which means that we also need to satisfy their needs in order to provide them high bandwidth and high reliable Wi-Fi networks. We can see more and more devices coming on, and that's exactly the problems where previous Wi-Fi standards faced some problems with. Since a couple of years now, Wi-Fi 6 is on the market and should be quite well known in the meantime. And Wi-Fi 6 was exactly facing the problem that we have with increasing high performance users and increased IoT devices using our Wi-Fi networks. We can see that in previous Wi-Fi standards, the more users have been connected to an access point, the less throughput the access point could deliver, and also the higher the latency was in the end, especially affecting voice over wireless deployments. Wi-Fi 6 solved exactly these problems, which we can see very nicely on the two charts presented on the slide. With Wi-Fi 6, we have now the possibility to connect a large amount of users to the same access point, while still serving all of them with high throughput and keeping the latency low, as we can see on the right-hand chart on the slide. Summarized, we can say that Wi-Fi 6 brings a higher throughputs, as all Wi-Fi standards did so far. We can support high density and high performance environments with a huge amount of connections, even IoT devices connecting to our networks. And at the same time, it's also beneficial on the battery life of our devices, as Wi-Fi 6 takes less power than previous Wi-Fi standards took. Cisco Meraki, of course, is well prepared for the transition to Wi-Fi 6, and the entire wireless access point portfolio covers Wi-Fi 6 access point for each purpose. We got general purpose access points, we have dedicated model for high density areas, and on the right side, we can even see models for an ultra high density and ultra performance environments. It's important to mention here that the previous Wi-Fi 5 portfolio of Meraki was announced end of sale in January this year, and all of those access points will go end of sale by July 21st, 2021. It's important to mention, though, that end of sale does not mean end of support, and all of the access points are totally covered from Meraki for hardware and software support for the next 5 years, going up to July 21st, 2026. End of support does not mean that the devices are dropping out of our dashboard. The devices can still be used, just that beyond 2026, you will not get any support in terms of software or hardware problems on those devices. The same concept applies also to our outdoor portfolio. We had 2 outdoor models, again for high performance and high density usage, and both of them have been updated with Wi-Fi 6 models as well. All of the Wi-Fi access points additionally do also support Bluetooth for Bluetooth beaconing and other cool functions that can be delivered via APIs. In recent years, Meraki invested also a lot of time and effort into making troubleshooting and the visibility on the dashboard more easier. The product is called Meraki Health. It's out on the market already, but Meraki is still adding features from day to day and still expanding the capabilities that the Meraki Health can provide. Meraki Health is easy to understand and tries to use machine learning in order to point the network administrator already in the right direction where the problem might be. We can see the right data at the right time from the right view in some nicely prepared charts directly on our Meraki dashboard. Again, we have the full stack assurance there, meaning that if the entire network leverages technologies from Cisco Meraki, we can not just see the access points and problems related to the Wi-Fi infrastructure. We rather get an overview about the entire network there, as we also see how the switch is doing, how the WAN is doing, and with MDM deployed, even how the clients are doing. But it doesn't end there. The health solution can even go further and check also the uptime from Google Drive and the performance of Google Drive, of Microsoft Office, and of Salesforce, for example. I would like to jump over to a quick demo of the wireless health feature, as this might be something that you've seen on the dashboards already as it got automatically added, but something that might be pretty new. I'm here in a demo infrastructure now, That's a Meraki deployment. We can see we are on a network in San Francisco, and we got some quite famous people connected to our Wi-Fi network. As a petrol head who slowly accepts the transition to EV, let's check, for example, the statistics of Mr. Tesla. I can see on the right-hand side already the so-called onboarding score, which means that this user in the last 2 hours had 100% onboarding score, meaning that he didn't face any problems connecting to the network. I can just click on the user to drop into an even more detailed and prepared insight just around that single user now. I can immediately see where the user is located. And also, I got the current client connection, leveraging again that Meraki full stack capability, showing me all the connectivity from the client till the campus core. I can go on each of those boxes and I can see, for example, that the client successfully connected to my access point. The access point, though, seems to have a problem. Let's check. And I immediately see a report that in the last 2 hours, the channel utilization of the 5 gigahertz radio was 82.9% utilized, meaning that that might be a problem if the users reported something. Going onwards, I can also see that the switch is doing good, all services seems to be up, and the same status we got also on our campus core switch. Right from here, I could even store the packet capture just by clicking on the button there, which would then capture the packets directly on the access point, loading them up to the Meraki cloud so that I can download them again and opening in Wireshark directly on my PC to investigate even further. Scrolling down, I got again an overview about my health status. I had 100% successful connections. And at the same time, though, I got just 4% of my time a latency less than 64 milliseconds, meaning that that device is definitely having some latency problems connecting to my Wi-Fi infrastructure. It's important to note that all of the informations I can see on the overview page are only revealing the statistics of the last 2 hours. If I would like to get even further in there and to see history events, I need to select the other tabs at the top there. I can now look at the connection for the last day, and I can see that in the last day, only 36% of my total of 321 connections have been successful. I can also see the issues per SSID. For example, to my corporation network, 179 of 186 tries to join the network failed, meaning there is obviously something going on, or there was something going on. It's also pretty nice prepared in that little chart down there. So I can see that I had 100% connectivity or succeeding associations to the network, but then somehow it dropped out. And I can go on all of those little bubbles, and the dashboard immediately hints me into the right direction, what might be the root cause of the problem I'm facing. Scrolling down, I see a nice map of the branch where the client is connected, immediately highlighting in red, green, and yellow the access point where the client was able to connect, where the client had just some problems to connect, or where the authentication or the connection completely failed. And I could click on the access point to dig right into the access point configuration and to check if something's going on. We can just from that image see that the problems connecting to my Wi-Fi network did not just happen on one access point. It was rather a problem in that whole office area there. Again, hinting me in a different direction and providing me a path for my troubleshooting. I can also check the performance of the client. Let's again select the past day. And I see my top applications like Google, HTTPS. I can see when the traffic got sent in that timeline chart. I can see the signal quality over the day, which has been always pretty good. So it's not a problem of signal quality there. Okay, I had 2 dropouts there, but maybe the client was just moving away from the access point there. But at the same time, I can see an average wireless latency, and I can definitely see high latency over my past day. Again, pointing me into the right direction to troubleshoot. Further down, I see the channel utilization, I see the access point usage at the time, and I see also a timeline revealing how many clients have been connected over the past day. Something pretty new is also the history view that we got now within the Meraki Health feature. The history summarizes all of the problems together and providing some further descriptions about what was going on. I can, again, just very nicely with colors filter on important things, on just alerts, and on events where the connection was successful, like there. I can extend all of those points to get even further details. So for example, here I see a time to connect of 330 milliseconds and the dissociation failure error reporting the error code back 34. Scrolling down there, I can also see that the client at one point had some problems because the password was incorrect. And expanding it, I can immediately check the configuration of my SSID, just to be sure that I was configuring the right password and not just the user failing the password there. So Meraki Health is providing a pretty good insight and is a strong troubleshooting tool, providing networks administrators with an easy to handle tool to check the client health from the beginning over the entire Meraki full stack and to see if the services are working, and if not, what's the problem and in which direction we need to troubleshoot. Coming back to my presentation, I would also like to spend a few words on the Meraki recently introduced MT sensors. MT sensors are providing environmental data analytics. The MT sensors are based on Bluetooth Low Energy, whereas they always need a Meraki access point as their gateway connecting to the network. The MT sensors provide network administrators now with physically securing their data centers where our valuable Meraki devices and other gear is located in. For example, we got some door sensors which reveals if a door got opened or not. But additionally, we also have water detection sensors, humidity sensors, and temperature sensors. And all of it can automatically generate alerts and push notifications to let us know if something is going wrong in our data centers. For example, if we are facing high temperatures, or if water got detected somewhere. And even if somebody entered the room, we can set up Meraki in order to send us a notification. Having that said, I would like to switch over to another Meraki technology, SD-WAN. Meraki's SD-WAN is available since a couple of years now and provides us the possibility to extend our WAN over any type of circuits. As we can see that business traffic is steadily increasing, especially over the past years, and therefore we need more performant and always available, highly redundant links connecting all of our branches together. Meraki SD-WAN provides an intelligent solution which can be controlled via policy and can load balance our traffic across all of our available band circuits over the internet and MPLS to achieve the best user experience. Meraki's Author VPN technology creates the whole overlay based on VPN tunnels then, without having an administrator even configuring manually a VPN tunnel. So everything gets automatically activated by the product itself. Some updates coming this year is, for example, the NVAR2 support. NBAR is a product pretty well known already in traditional Cisco products, for example, on access points, switches, and Cisco routers. NBAR provides us with the possibility to recognize plus than 1,400 applications compared to around 200 applications that Meraki can identify with its existing technology. We can then use that database of recognizable application to gain an even better insight into the applications that are flowing on our overlay and in our networks. We can do an even more granular traffic analytics. And of course, we can also create policies and rules based on all of those applications, increasing our security. NBAR 2 is in the open beta at the moment. It's available in MX16, and it's supported on all MX appliances and on the teleworker appliances as well. Another important update is the ANYCONNECT support for the MX firewalls. ANYCONNECT is Cisco's VPN client, simplifying the way how users can connect back to the enterprise network from everywhere via VPN client. The ANYCONNECT support comes additionally to the already existing L2TP client VPN configuration that's already possible on the MXs today. ANYCONNECT, though, relies on TLS encryption, meaning HTTPS, whereas there is no problem from where the users connect to, as HTTPS usually is open in every network. So we're not facing any problems if a remote user connects from his hotel or from the next Starbucks coffee around the corner. With the ANYCONNECT client, we can also support split tunneling. The client can easily be deployed with MDM solutions, and it's available on all our mainstream platforms. Important to know here is that an additional ANYCONNECT Plus license is required, though, in order to use the ANYCONNECT client. ANYCONNECT is in the open beta as well already. It will become available in MX16, and it's supported on all MX appliances except the MX64 and MX65, at least at the moment. A future support on those two platforms might even come down the road. Covered the SD-WAN part, I would like to move over to the Meraki camera topics. Cameras is a quite new business for Meraki as well, even though it's available since more than 1.5 years now. But again, Meraki tried to simplify the whole industry, competing with the existing competitors. How Meraki is doing that? We need to take a look first at how a traditional security camera deployment looks like. We got, of course, our security cameras, which are deployed out there, but then the security cameras are recording their video stream on a network recorder, usually located at each side. Then a computer where the viewer sits needs to access all of the content from the network recorders. This setup, with having all of those dedicated network controllers out in the dedicated sites, is of course increasing the complexity, but it's also increasing the vulnerability, as the more devices we got out there, the more surface, the more possible attacks can occur on our network infrastructure. In order to get around all of those problems, Meraki did it in a different way, storing the videos directly on the cameras themselves. We have an on-device storage, so everything is being recorded locally. If then somebody needs to access the video and that person is located within the same network as the cameras are, then the stream is obviously going directly from the cameras to the viewer. On the other side, If the stream needs to be accessed though from any other location, or maybe even from external persons like police departments and somebody else, we can share the video streams via the Meraki dashboard. And in this way, the video gets uploaded from the camera to the dashboard and gets streamed to the end client. That might be then a PC, a Mac, a tablet, a smartphone, whatever. To reduce the upload bandwidth, usually the camera is not uploading nothing to the cloud, and it's only uploaded on demand, meaning when somebody from a remote location is really trying to access the content that's being recorded from the cameras. Under normal scenarios, therefore, the camera is just recording locally, streaming to local devices, and not uploading anything to the Meraki cloud. A problem in the whole CCTV industry, though, is that the majority of the video is never watched. Smart cameras can change this, or smart cameras can do that for us. They can learn and provide insight over time. They can leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning in order to understand the customer behaviors and what's going on the scenes that they are recording. And they can provide context, combining things together that they record. And then they can trigger actions in some systems, so notifying us or providing other very valuable and important insight. Of providing you an example what the Meraki cameras can do, I would like to present you the object detection. A Meraki camera is smart enough to detect objects and can distinguish between persons and, for example, cars. So on a camera, like in the picture, which is installed outside of our office building, the camera can tell how many persons are walking down by and how many cars are driving by. Based on that, the camera can also automatically create statistics. So the camera can tell us that during the whole day, there were 500 cars driving by and around 30 people walking down the road in front of our office. Obviously, that's not really a use case and not really valuable to any business, but the same technology can be used to provide real business value. One of those business use cases might be motion search when thinking about security cameras. So if the camera is purely used for securing something, for example, in a shop, then motion search is a very handy feature. Motion search provides us the possibility that I can select my area of interest, and then the camera will automatically reveal only the scenes where a motion was detected within that selected area. Meaning, if, for example, somebody stole something from my shop and I know the last location where it's been, I just select that location and the camera will automatically only shows me the scenes where a motion was detected within my selection. The other way of searching for the motion would obviously be going over hours and hours of video material, staying focused and concentrated on the same area, and then manually detect if somebody stole something or if a motion was detected there. At the same time, the Meraki cameras can not only be used for security purposes, but they can also provide analytics. Again, interesting for shops. With motion heat maps, the camera can create a heat map which reveals where the majority of the persons has been. So for example, we can place then, based on the information that we get from our security camera, we can place the products that are important for us exactly in that area to make sure that the vast majority of people visiting our shop is walking by our products and that we can place them, which is very valuable for marketing purposes. At the same time, the camera can also, again, using the object detection, do people counting, which is interesting for all types of businesses, like bars or restaurants. So having my security camera there, I can now also do the people counting directly in that camera, And again, getting rid of maybe any analog people counting technology that might be out there. So simplifying my network, reducing the complexity by getting rid of additional devices and doing everything centralized on a couple of cameras. There is a Meraki MV for every occasion. We have them for indoor and outdoor purposes in different sizes, and the local storage goes from 128 gigabytes up to 256. To visit the whole Meraki portfolio, I would recommend you to go to meraki.com/camera, where all of the different Meraki cameras can be visited. Last but not least, I would like to spend some words about the APIs. Big data has grown and provides, in the meantime, the possibility to deliver real business value. The problem, though, is that we have too much data that any human persons can manually reveal all of the business value out of them. A statistic shows that by 2025, the raw amount of data will reach 180 zettabytes, which are 180 trillion gigabytes. Obviously, that big amount of data can't be processed by any human person. Therefore, we need machine learning and artificial intelligence in order to get just the important information out there that we really need in order to support our business. That's exactly the place where APIs comes handy to allow also third-party partners to design their products using the APIs and the data that we can gather with all of our Meraki products. Meraki supports APIs across the entire full stack, so the APIs can reach the dashboard directly and can also fetch information from the devices. An overview about what APIs can do will be presented by our second speaker today in this webinar. I'd like to thank you for your attention, and any upcoming questions you have, we can answer in the dedicated Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel, for your good presentation. In your last slide, you mentioned how important APIs are in the future or are already right now. And this brings us to our next speaker. This is Alessandra. She will show us their applications, their tools called APIs. And she will show us how powerful the analytics are they are getting out of the Cisco Meraki products. So Alessandra, it's your turn. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans-Peter, and thank you, Manuel. As Peter already said, I'm Alessandra Vizzini, and I work as an account manager in the VIAP team for Bitsmate, that is the company behind the VIAP platform. Bitsmate is an Italian company based in Catania, that is Cisco partner since many years, and in particular at the beginning of 2019 took part of the Cisco ecosystem partner. The solution that I will show you today is VIAP, that is a smart integration platform for the full Cisco full stack. VIAP leverages Cisco technology to provide customer with a richer solution that will let them make the most from digital world. In particular, help businesses of any size and user or any technical level to seamlessly interconnect resources to accelerate digital transformation. VIAP, being an integration platform, gives us the possibility to integrate different kinds of sources. And so not only Cisco Meraki devices, like for example in the left side, smart cameras, access point, and so on, but also other kinds of devices like Bluetooth or point of sale system. But we can also integrate with a cognition and all the services that give us the possibility to integrate APIs. All these data are collected by the platform and displayed into different ways, like web dashboard, custom reports. We can also set up precise rules for the platform to send the real-time alerts. We can also display information using mobile app, export data, and also create custom analysis. VAP, based on the integration with different kinds of devices, is divided in 4 families of pre-built web application in a cloud computing environment with different kind of authentication, API integration, event-driven workflow, rule-based action, and so much more. We have 4 different kind of products, 4 different kind of families of products. The first one is the vision analytics, that is the families based on the integration with MV cameras. This integration gives us the possibility to display different kind of features, different kind of data based on integration with all the second generation camera. Not only for marketing purposes, but also for monitoring a specific area, integrating also particular feature based on the anti-COVID features. Then we have the performance zone family, that is a complete set of applications designed for an in-depth monitoring of your Meraki network. Wi-Fi solution, that is the family in which we will focus today, that give us the possibility to monitor wireless performance, but also the possibility to know which is the concentration of people in a particular area based on the signal coming from the access point. And finally, the IoTools family that integrates the new IoT sensor that Manuel previously described for monitoring temperature and humidity, water leak, and also give us information about a door, and so if a door is open or closed. All this info can be combined with other kind of information coming from access point, but also cameras. Today, we will focus on the Wi-Fi family. Here we have some of our customers, but we can go directly to the Wi-Fi family. Well, first of all, I'd like to show you the VAP Health Wi-Fi product. This is a network performance monitoring and a diagnostic tool that gives us the possibility to integrate data coming from the access point, just to give access to a customized dashboard to monitor both the occupancy and dwelling time of your venue, as well as the overall health of your network infrastructure. This is a particular license that includes the possibility to monitor covered survey, latency map, and also concentration map. The covered survey functionality gives us the possibility to speed up and automatically validate your Meraki Wi-Fi network coverage and performance. It gives us the possibility to define the areas over which signal levels need improvements. Check the wireless coverage directly on a heat map of your survey area. We have the possibility to have heat maps, signals from distribution, multi-floor plan management, and also historical analytics. Then we have the latency map. This is another feature included into the VAP Health Wi-Fi status monitoring, and give us the possibility to keep under control the latency to maintain high quality of business services. This kind of feature gives us the possibility to monitor performance through a map of real clients' latency values. And in particular, latency map will help you to find which access point or sector of your network is not performing as desired. Also, in this case, this particular feature gives us the possibility to have access to heat map, connection stats, latency distribution, multi-floor plan management, and also historical analytics. Just to complete the overall the feature available into the VAP Health Wi-Fi status monitoring, we also include the concentration map. This is a feature that gives us the possibility to monitor visitor presence across your site thanks to real-time heat maps. This is totally GDPR compliant, and this gives us the possibility to live count of your network devices in selected area, just to know which is the behavior of our customers. Moreover, into the Wi-Fi family, we also find Easy Guest Wi-Fi. This is an application that gives us the possibility to simplify your guest Wi-Fi access. In particular, if we want to easily connect to Wi-Fi in seconds, just using our smartphone, it is possible. The Wi-Fi access will be provided using an automatic QR code, which can be displayed on tablets, smart TVs, or web exports. Users just need to scan the code and will be promptly redirected to connection acceptance. Moreover, we also have the presence and analytics license. This is a product that makes smarter marketing decisions and boosts revenue, simply integrating data coming from our access point. This gives us the possibility to know footfall traffic, visitor engagement, loyalty, and also, in this case, the solution is totally privacy compliant. Now we will go to a real-time demo about the VAP Health Wi-Fi solution and all the features included in it. All the demo that I will display today are available on our website, that is vap.io. In this case, I will display the VAP Health status monitoring solution, but in our website, you can also find different kind of application, different kind of solution, based on integration with all the other devices that I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation. And so the vision analytics solution, based on integration with camera, and also other kind of application like the IO tools family. In this case, we can see, starting from this Wi-Fi global overview, the dashboard related to the VAP health status monitoring. In particular, this kind of license gives us the possibility to track, to know Wi-Fi performance using a simply dashboard with a single point of access. In this case, we are monitoring just one site we can find on the map. And here on the bottom, we can also find the list of all the sites that we are monitoring. This is an overall dashboard in which we can also have information coming from the complete chain of sites that we are monitoring. And so in the at a glance panel, we have information about number of sites monitored, number of access points using all over the sites, time zone of the user, busiest day of the week, with number of devices detected, and also busiest hour of the day. Moreover, we also included the device counting, and so how many devices we detected today with distribution per site. In this case, we only have a site, and so this is the reason why this number is the same of the site name. Then also included the general information about the last 7 days related to the hourly visitors and also the daily visitors, distributed per day of the last 7 days. Then we can click on the site by clicking on the icon on the map, or if you want, on the site here, name, just to access to the site detail dashboard. In this case, we have information about the site with the positioning of the access point on the site. Here we have the list of all the access points installed with also model. And also in this case, at a glance information, but related to the single site. Moreover, we also included information related to number of Wi-Fi devices connected to our network, number of Wi-Fi devices detected by the access point, mean time, a brief manufacturer chart if we want to know not only how many devices we detected today, but also which kind of devices is of, for example, Samsung, MediaTek, and so on, manufacturer. Moreover, we also included a today mean dwell time chart, and also in this case, historical information about daily visitors. Starting from this dashboard, we can then decide to access to the historical analytics dashboard if we want to define our KPI in a different time frame, or clicking on the extra feature of our interest. As I said before, concentration map, cover survey, or latency map. I'd like to start from the historical analytics dashboard. This is a dashboard that gives us the possibility to monitor the KPI coming from the VAP Health Wi-Fi status monitoring license for a time frame that we can choose using the time picker. We can choose among different options, but if you want, we can also select here directly from the calendar. And we can also decide to do a particular analysis into the same day from an hour to another. In this case, once we select the time frame of our interest, we can access all the KPI available using the license, the WAPL Wi-Fi status license. All this info can be also exported by clicking on Report Analytics. By clicking here, we can then choose the time frame, as we already saw before. And for each KPI, we can simply click here to select the form in which we can export our information. Coming back to the site dashboard, we can dip in information related to the concentration map, cover survey, and latency map. The concentration map is a feature that usually we use for a marketing tool. In this case, we are monitoring this area, and this area can be also divided into sub-areas, like in this case. In this case, we identified 6 different areas, and for each area, based on the signal coming from the devices connected to our access point, we can know the percentage of people connected. In the map, we can see the percentage of people connected, while here in the pie chart and the area counting widget, we can know not only which is the number of people detected today in all the areas, but also number of people detected in each area. In this case, instead, we can see number of people detected, currently number of people detected, and currently number of people detected only in the areas that we are drawn on the map. Coming back to the site, we can now go to the other 2 extra features, cover survey and latency map. These are 2 features that usually we use for monitoring network performance. Starting from cover survey, we have a dashboard in which not only we have information about site, number of access point, time zone, and general information coming from the coverage, but also a cover survey map in which we not only have the positioning of the access point, but also using these hexagons, information about the coverage. Moreover, we also have info about number of clients connected on each access point. For example, we have 13 clients connected to the access point MR1, and so on. We also have information about the signal strength distribution. We have a distinction between excellent, good, and poor. A chart related to the performance, and also recent activities. If you want to know which kind of devices is connected to a particular access point, which is the last update, and in particular, which is the signal related to this connection. Moreover, we also have the possibility to do an historical analytics for all the coverage information, but also to monitor coverage based on floor plan. In this case, we are monitoring a site that has 2 different floor plans, two plans in particular. And so by clicking on the first floor plan, for example, we access to the dashboard in which we can display the floor plan of the first plan with the coverage. Also in this case, we included the list of all the access points installed in this plan, clients by access point, and signal strength distribution. Coming back to the site dashboard, we can also display information about the latency map. This is another tool that gives us the possibility to know if we have any problem of latency on the site that we are monitoring. Also in this case, we have a map on the access point installed on site with the hexagons that represents latency status, connection stats, and so how many connections we detected today, with info about success and failure status, hourly latency, recent activities, and so which MAC address is connected to a particular access point, which is the last update, and some info related to the latency. Also, in this case, we have the possibility to do an historical analysis and to know which is the situation, which is the latency situation for each plan. In this case, for example, using this first map, we can know that we have a problem of latency here. And so we are interested in knowing if that problem is related to the first plan or to the second plan. Starting from the second plan, we can know that in this case, on this map, we don't have any problem related to the latency. And so probably we have a problem at the first plan. This is the reason why, by clicking on the first plan, we can deepen this situation. In this case, we are detecting a latency problem here in proximity of this area. So in this case, this will give us the possibility to resolve this problem. Also in this case, for this plan, we have the possibility to know how many access points we have on the plan, and also which is the recent activities detected. We already have some minutes, and so I'd like also to give you an overview about another solution that Manuel showed before, related to the integration with the MT sensors. Also in this case, we have an overall dashboard that gives us the possibility to track all the alarms coming from the sensors. In this case, today we detected 6 different alarms. We have also information about the alarms distribution, the today hourly distribution, and also the daily alarms distribution of the last 7 days. By clicking on the site, we can then deepen the situation coming from the sensors. This site in particular has 3 different sensors: an MT10 just to monitor temperature and humidity, an MT12 just to monitor water leak, and also an MT20 just to monitor open or closed door. In this case, we can set up a sensor per type as favorite and show which is the situation coming from these sensors in the right top of this dashboard. So we know, for example, that at this moment we are detecting more or less 19 degrees, 57 humidity, the water leak status is okay, and the door is closed. Moreover, we also have information about the events counting if we want to know how many alarms coming from each sensor, and also the events hourly distribution. But the most interesting thing related to this kind of solution is the alarms list. Every time that the sensor sends us an alert coming from, for example, a door sensor, and so the MT20, we can click on each alarm just to have a complete overview of the situation. In particular, in these sites, we have not only an MT20 sensor, but also a camera installed and also an access point. This gives us the possibility to have a complete overview of the situation. And so in the moment of the detection, in the moment of the alert, we take a snapshot using the camera installed just to see if this alarm is a correct alarm. This is the snapshot coming from the camera. This is the information coming from the alarm. And in this case, we also have the list of all the Wi-Fi clients connected at the moment of the alarm. Moreover, on the timeline, we can also have information about the door open event in proximity of this moment. Obviously, the same information can be provided using other kind of sensors. That's all. Just to complete this overview, I'd like to underline that all our solutions are add-on solutions to the Meraki full stack. And so the app solution add new functionalities and features to all the features already available by Cisco Meraki. Moreover, we follow the same Cisco Meraki licensing model. And so one license per device, in our case, per access point or per IoT device, with a subscription or 1 year or 3 years. That's all. Thank you for your attention. And we are waiting for your questions.
Okay, thanks a lot, Alessandra, for the introduction of your products. Well, right now it would be the time for our Q&A session. There was one question during our session from Manuel in the chat. And Manuel, the person who asked this question already left the session, but anyway, I will ask it. Maybe other persons are interested as well. So Manuel, the question was, when you presented the health status of Mr. Tesla's notebook connection, the question was, what kind of connection parameters are get measured or monitored? Latency, packet loss, jitter. Do you have an answer on this question, or it's just a packet loss? Manuel, you are on mute. Yeah, perfect.
Yes, so it's definitely packet loss and the latency to the access point. I'm not so sure about the jitter. That's something I can check and I'll answer offline.
Okay, thank you very much. We have 4 minutes time left. If you have questions, I gently ask you to put them into the chat window you find on the right side. If there are no other questions, I think we can close this session. If you have questions later on to this session, you can contact us directly. Looks like there are no incoming questions anymore. So yeah, I think we can close the session. I wish you all a good day. Thank you very much once again for joining our session here, and please stay safe. Goodbye to everyone. Thank you. Goodbye.